All right, we're shaking up the charms. Gotta stretch out the arms. I don't know, there might be something to do with somebody's arms right now. But there we go. We got the charms out there. Um, okay. Butterfly, dragonfly, angel. Ooh, on the angel it says made for an angel at the back of it. We have an owl. Ooh, we have an elephant. It's giving me Asia, the Indian type vibes. We've got a feather. We've got another elephant. Wow, wow, wow. And we've got a star. How interesting. Goodness gracious, goodness gracious. Thank you. Oh, before I forget, hey guys, welcome. Welcome to Roots Holistic. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Here we go. And here we begin. Just shuffling the cards over here. And while I do that, thank you all for being here. Welcome to another episode of the Daily Spread. For the past couple of days, we've been going in. Please don't mind that. For the past couple of days, we've just been going in, just journey within, as always. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spreading some love, some light. Oh, yo, that one just flipped all the way out. Let's tippy tap in. Let's do the most. Thank you for everyone who's aiding, supporting this journey. Thank you for being here, for being square, for being circle. I don't know, something's coming through with like shapes or something. Uh, if I think about a circle has no angles, but a square has 4 angles. We were just getting something about in the previous reading, we're getting something about the upcoming 4 moon cycles. And with the angles, I'm getting something about, positioning. Like, it looks like things are still shaping up. Things are being put into position for some reason. But yeah, I've pulled 5 oracle cards, and altogether we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 charms. And yeah, of course, we're also going to look at the card at the back of the deck. I think this one's going to be a quick tap in, tap out. Feels like this is a very short message, but let's see. I always tell myself it's going to be short, but then Spirit just comes through with the sauces. And yes, as always, thank you to Source, man. Thank you, angels, ascended masters, ancestors, guides, all beings and forces wishing us well. And Archangel Michael, please protect this reading. Okay, let me just confirm something real quick with my pendulum. Are we good here? Yes, okay. Now I was just checking one of the cards because it popped out. So I was like, okay, am I reading it in the right position? But anyway, let's begin. So for the 5 tarot cards I've got here, the first one is the 10 of Swords. The second one is the Page of Wands. And we've got the King of Pentacles. The first 3 cards are upright. And then we've got the 5 of Swords in reverse, as well as the Tower card in reverse. At the back of the deck, we've got the 3 of Wands. Before I go into the cards, I just want to remind you of the charms that I pulled out. So there's a butterfly, a dragonfly, but this dragonfly kind of does look like a butterfly at the same time. Actually, it is. It's actually just at a different angle. But yeah, I think that might just be a synchronicity for someone as well. So 2 butterflies, an angel, an owl, 2 elephants, a feather, and a star. Just looking at this, I'm getting something about bloom. It's like how the butterfly has to be in a cocoon. And with me seeing it, in 2 ways, I think you'll see from the image that I post. One butterfly is, both wings out, and the other one is like moving towards the first butterfly. I'm also getting something about seeing the situation from a different perspective. With the angel, I'm definitely getting some protection, and that's why I think I called on Archangel Michael to protect this reading. There's definitely something about protection over you at this time based off of what you're going through. With the owl, definitely wisdom. This particular owl has like layers of feathers. So I think, there might be things that are being revealed in stages or in layers. And, as I look at the next 3 charms, it's elephant, feather, elephant. So it's like, an elephant has ears, big ears. I'm getting Dumbo vibes right now. So I'm getting something about, paying attention, taking flight, then paying attention all over again. And then it looks like that's going to lead to your stardom. I mean, this star has like dots around it. So I'm also getting something about lights, like super stardom. This is so bright that it's obvious, it's going to be seen by everyone. I'm being led to start at the back of the deck. At the back of the tarot deck, we have the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands speaks to, your higher purpose, like your ships coming in, following from the Two of Wands, going to the Three of Wands. It's like now you have a plan. And because you have a plan, it's about time to act on that plan, to actually follow through with that plan. So this lady in this card is standing on the top of the hill. Definitely looks like she's on a mission, looking at all the mountains there. It's like, what, you've been through so many different trials, tribulations, sensations. Think there's something about, connecting with your feelings as well. And having understood that, it's about you looking at your new trajectory. Which direction are you going in? And it's definitely a path that leads to growth. I'm also seeing, all the smoke behind us. So it's like you're leaving something behind to step into this higher self, to actually cast a new spell or a new intention. Yes, I would say. And, with the Three of Wands being the smallest wand in this image, it's almost like they are asking us to tap into our ability to manifest, to actually like slow down and actually clear the fog so that we can harness this energy, this ability to become this magician or alchemist. I'm also looking at how she's dressed. She looks like a wizard. It's like, in Harry Potter when they tell him like, you're a wizard, Harry. That's what's coming through right now. So I definitely get something about like knowing yourself and, stepping into your power. As I'm also looking at that card, the one hand is like clutching onto a small wand, but the other hand is like not seen. Definitely getting something about like there's a hidden trick or something up your sleeve, something that's coming that you might not see. I'm also getting just something about the arm or the hands, just check those out, definitely take care of them. It's so weird actually. Before this reading, I started feeling like this weird feeling in like my right arm, and in this image it's her left arm that's not being seen. So I don't know, maybe something about balance as well, but yeah, I don't know, that might just be a synchronicity for someone. So definitely think about that. There's a video I actually saw on YouTube that was saying something about how your brain is in your hands. So yeah, I think I need to check that video out. I think I might have something to share. And with me even sharing that, I think it's very important to remember that even as teachers, as guides, that we should always be open to learning. We remain studious throughout life, life is a journey, and the moment you stop learning, I feel that's the moment you are unalived in a sense. For as long as you're alive, you're going to learn something. And if something is coming up, it's definitely coming out. But anyway, let's proceed. Let's proceed. So, first card, Ten of Swords. Number 10, of course, with, thinking about the suits, is the end of the suit. And over here, there's a bunch of swords in her back. You might have been backstabbed. I'm getting a sense of the previous reading as well about you being the target. I think then we were looking at the Nine of Wands. Yes, the wounded warrior type of an energy. But it's like, all of these attacks on you, all of these attempts to kind of unalive you, to get you out of the way, or, I'm getting an image of a scythe right now, Grim Reaper type of a thing. It's like you're coming through as like such a threat that people would go out of their way to find ways to, harm you, hurt you, destroy the things that you are up to and that you're working on. But as I look at the image as well, I'm seeing her hands over, her chest. And that reminds me of the star image within this same third eye tarot deck. And it's like you're being attacked because of the light that you have. And here, the light that's being shown in this image is from the third eye. Her eyes are closed, but the third eye is wide open. And outside of the vision or illumination that's taking place for you, I'm also getting this as, You've made it to a certain point where you realize that, it's like almost quote unquote the end of the journey, or maybe it's this end of the season, this cycle, but you realize that you can only live your truth. And it's because of your diligence and you sticking to your truth that you still remain pure. I'm also getting that purity with the white clothes that she's wearing. I'm also looking at, the border of the whole card. It's almost like you've been protected this whole time. You've been, even though they tried to cross you, they didn't realize that they were crossing an angel, crossing somebody. I'm also getting this weird sense that all of these swords are actually going to turn into wings for some reason. I don't know why, but it's crazy. I'm also seeing that there are different swords in her back, and one of the swords has a infinity sign on it. Another sign has a DNA strand on it. So it kind of feels like, you were attacked for different things, for your manifestation, for your creation, for even just how you pull things together. It's like people were seeing your magician, alchemist, magician coming through again. My eyes are being drawn to the third of wands. I don't know, third level. I don't know, something about the number 3 again. Of course, it's me, G3E, your host. Hey, that number's always coming through. But yeah, it just looks like, your light was so startling. Ooh, that's why I'm just, being called back to the star right now. And I think that's why this bloom era was coming through. Next card, we have the Page of Wands. And talking about blooming, there's a bunch of flowers here. Looks like roses. And this young girl has a wand in her hand. And it looks like she's activating these roses. It's almost like as soon as she touches the wands, she's amazed at just how the roses are going to open up and respond to her. So this is again tying back to the third of wands. Oh, I keep saying third of wands. Okay, give me a second, one moment. Okay, that was my alarm. I'm gonna take that as a synchronicity. There's an alarm, there's a bell that's ringing. But sorry, as I was saying about the third, for me to say third of wands for the second time, there might be something about the third. Third of the month, the third month, or with 3 months from now. And whenever you find this reading, it will definitely be for you. I just looked at the timer and it was 1, 2, 3, 4. So it kind of feels like things are going to align in threes. So I think if you're looking for signs of synchronicities, the boy got a rhyme sometimes. Hey, you know what? It just happens. But yeah, just look for synchronicities in the numbers of 3. I think that's going to be an important number. But again, I said third of wands 2 times. So also the number 33. So you might be 33 years old, or I don't know, 3 days, 3 months, or the 3rd of March. You get what I'm saying. Just look out for anything to do with 3 and 33. Okay. And as we proceed, Page of Wands, like I was saying, she's being amazed. She's being shown just how her power works. That's what's coming through in this image. Again, I'm also getting that sense of purity. I'm also getting something about being knighted, or, being cloaked, because she also has in this image a white dress. But in this white dress, there's, and a pattern of it, like a blue pattern around it. And with the blue, I'm just being called to like the throat chakra. And it's like the things that you speak of have different levels. They are going to create almost like a barrier around your creation, your protection, your purity. So definitely activate the throat chakra. I'm also looking at the lines of blue. There's blue around the throat, blue around the waist, torso area, and then also blue around the knees. I don't know what that is, but of course, there's 3 areas with blue. And I think you just need to look at that, from top to bottom. What is it that you can speak into existence? I'm getting as above, so below, which is like a balance, left and right as well. But again, the Page of Wands is about curiosity. It's about inspiration. That's what's coming through right now. Can you know that by living your truth, you are ultimately like, your recognition rather that you need to live your truth is what's pushing you into this wondrous, this curious era or phase, because this first era or phase had to end, and now you get to approach it with a childlike wonder, with this curiosity to see just how powerful you actually are. I'm getting a sense that there was some kind of integration taking place, and I'm being called back to the blue colors that I'm seeing on this card as well. And it's like things were coming together, or things were being put into different shapes. Oh, here's the shapes coming through. I mean, her collar is like a square shape, and then on the circle it's like little ovals or different it's like the shape of a flower, but it's like waves. Yes, it's waves actually. It looks like that. So you're going with the flow, taking new shape. Ooh, okay, spirit. Okay, I see you. But yeah, I think you need to just explore your gifts, explore your power at this time. I'm also getting something about being monitored. Like, guys, there's a lot of eyes on you right now. There's a lot of eyes. I'm even being called back to look at the Ten of Swords, where each of these swords, at the end of it, has a skull, and they are black eyes. So these eyes might not necessarily have the greatest of intentions, but it's like, you know what, even if that is the case, you're going to proceed with your manifestation, with what it is that you are going to be exploring, because it's like it's giving who's this explorer, like Dora the Explorer, but it's also giving what's this guy, Indiana Jones. Yes, it's giving that kind of an energy. I'm also getting like Lara Croft vibes right now. But yeah, let's proceed. But again, explore your power, man. I think you'll be very much amazed at how your truth is actually being transmuted into wonder, into bloom. Okay. Just drinking some warm water today. All right. Sense of the reading, King of Pentacles. The first thing that drew my eye here was the pentacle and how large it is. I think you are going to definitely align with a figure that is masculine, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a male. It could even be a female, but it's just speaking to how they are very much in their divine masculine energy. And it's like, as soon as you step into your purpose, you meet this person who ultimately like balances you out and is like going to ground you as well. I'm looking at this as someone who's very affluent, who's very successful. And earlier on I was getting something about being knighted, and I think this is like the reward for you stepping into your power, stepping into your strength. I'm also getting like the Knight of Wands right now, and it's like this person is going to balance you out, and it's like a reward. It's like a big anointing in a sense. It's like it's just waiting for you, and it's manifested, and it's again so visible, so strong. It looks like the very same star that I saw as a charm earlier on, but now how it links to the Page of Wands is because the Page of Wands was like exploring. It's like she's in a garden. I'm also getting something about spending time in nature. I think there might be signs and messages that come through as you are in nature. But because she was spending this time, activating these flowers, you are actually activating your wealth. You are activating a divine union with a divine counterpart. I also get that I'm reading for someone who might be very much resonating with divine feminine, and then this person that's coming in, or perhaps even a situation, is just going to balance you out and allow you to either step into your masculine, or you're going to meet someone that is of the divine masculine. So I definitely see some union or harmony coming together, or a reward. On the other side of it, I'm just getting now that, there's a larger collective that I'm actually tapping into right now. Guys, you are going to be working towards your abundance, towards your success, because you are now realizing that you need to live your truth and actually start taking steps towards your passion. I'm getting something about how, how people wear thick coats like a mink, and this person looks like they're wearing a mink, but it looks like the traps or the death that they try to bring to you is what you are now going to wear on you. It's like you wearing this sheep skin, you wearing this animal skin, and not only is it protecting you like an animal spirit that's protecting you, but it's also keeping you warm. It's also, keeping things together. I'm also looking at this in comparison to the Ten of Swords, where in the Ten of Swords, granted it's a male and a female, but in the Ten of Swords, the person there is skinny, but in this card, in the King of Pentacles card, they look like they've buffed up, they've, beefed up in a sense. So it's like you've picked on more weight, more muscle actually. And it's like you are now able to carry more, whether that's more blessing, more anointing. And it looks like, there's something about you building a structure, more wealth, more prosperity. And it's like adding up, it's building up. I'm even being led to how the very last card is the Tower card, but we're going to get to that. But the next card that we have here is the Five of Swords in reverse. So this speaks to things coming into resolution, a peaceful, harmonious resolution. I think there might have been some kind of, a lot against coming through with this collective, but if this is not like some kind of anguish, some kind of grief, some kind of deceit, people who were again in this competition with you, trying to attack you and so on. I mean, it's almost like they were being minimized. I mean, from the Ten of Swords to the Five of Swords, it's like this thing was being cut in half or being reduced, but then it's also being reduced to conclusion, reduced to what's that word that just came to right now? Reduced to satisfaction. Wow, for some reason I see that this resolution or peace that's coming through is actually going to make you very, very happy. And I look at this also as like, the weapon formed against you did not prosper. And again, with it being the swords, it looks like the swords, from them having skulls on them, these swords have golden handles. So it's like you were able to transmute. And that is speaking to, being the alchemist, because, we're turning lead into gold, that story about alchemy. Just definitely research on that. I think whoever you are, you might need to read the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. And I'm remembering when I read that book, and it pretty much amazed me. It was very much relating to my story, but it's like this is you turning that pain into a story. Oh, that's why it's coming through like that. It's like your story is actually going to heal not only yourself but others. But then I think there's a element of peace and resolution that's gonna come from this. So definitely keep going. I see you or see her with the three swords in her hand. So again, something about the number three. So 3 days, 3 weeks, just look out for the number three as a synchronicity of some kind here. And I also get something about balancing, how you are perceived. And, it's almost like you have the ability to control how other people view you or perceive you. So other people might see you as somebody who's very happy. Other people might see you as like a demon or someone who's quite, on the dark side. I was saying earlier on that this is an angel, and now I'm saying there's demons. So it's like it's about you choosing how you show up in these different situations. But definitely there's something to do with the eyes as well. I think your eyes tell a story, and as you speak to people and you look into their eyes, you're able to detect whether they are looking at you with eyes of envy, jealousy, deceit, if they actually are good for you, if they are actually the demon or an angel. And I'm even being called to look at the owl. The owl has these big eyes in this charm here. And it's like Charmed, I'm thinking about the series back then in the days. I might just be revealing my age right now. But it's I think it's also a reminder that I'm referencing shows, Charmed, Harry Potter. I think there's something definitely about being wondrous, being adventurous, using your imagination. But again, with this owl, I'm also being called to how in Harry Potter they have different animals. And again, I was thinking about that with the King of Pentacles. Like, you have a spirit animal. Your animal might just be an owl, but it speaks to wisdom. And this wisdom is coming from living your truth. And because now we are here with the Five of Swords, it's like that truth is ultimately what reigned true. And the truth is leading to peace. It's leading to this resolution. Wow. Okay, I didn't think that was going to come through like that. Wow, 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 wow. Spirit coming through with the sauce, gang. Whew, interesting. Okay. And our last card that we have over here is the Tower card in reverse. For some reason, I'm being called to like move my recording phone to the side, and it's almost like you are gonna be stepping aside so that this structure can fall. It's like whatever's gonna fall apart is not going to hit you. It's not going to find its way or harm you. So again, the protection's coming through, and it's like you have this glowing aura. Nothing's gonna harm the star. Nothing's gonna harm you. And again, I'm being drawn back to the feathers. It's almost like a feather duster. You know, the debris is being moved away, and you getting ushered out of it or ushered out of this building before it falls apart. So I'm definitely getting something about being saved right now. I'm also getting that Archangel Michael that, you know, they are kind of gonna lift you up and move you to another place. And I think that's why we're also getting the Three of Wands at the back of the deck. It's like they putting you on a higher place, a higher plateau. So, you know, it's also telling me that that's going to be the end of the worry or the end of the concern. With this card being right at the end, I mean, it's the only major arcana card. And it's like things are going to build up to a grand climax. And even as these things occur, you are protected, you are safe. And all the worries and things that you are so concerned about are actually like nothing at this point. You know, it's like you win at the end regardless. Um, with this Tower card, I'm thinking when things fall apart, they're actually falling into place. So, you being someone who brings truth, who brings honesty into your life, your situations, your engagements with others, you know, even with the energies that you interact with, because you bring truth, and some people might not be ready to accept the truth, the peace that comes for you might be destruction for others. Ooh, yeah, that's something right there. So, yeah, don't be too worried. Don't be too stressed. You just have to be the elephant in this case, you know, big, listening, strong. I'm being drawn to like the tusks of an elephant as well as the trunk of an elephant. When I remembered when I was younger, I needed to remember the compass and north, east, south, west. It's like as I was saying it now, I kind of almost switched the words up together. It's almost like the compass is being shifted. It's like things are being moved around or jumbled up. But why I'm being drawn to the elephant trunk is because to remember the directions of the compass, the easy way I did that was by naughty elephants squirt water, and that is the north, the east, the south, and the west. So it's like, don't be the naughty elephant right now. Another one that I remember is never eat silkworms. So, yeah, definitely look at your diet. If you need to purge, if you need to release something, that's definitely what needs to happen. And I'm also being reminded as to why I actually moved my phone, which is doing this recording, to the side. You know, it's like you moving the darkness aside, you moving the worry, the concern, the anxiousness, the anxiety aside, the fear aside as well. So step into your truth, be wondrous, know that you are going towards your wealth and it will be peaceful. And again, things are falling apart to fall into place. I'm going to leave the reading right there. Thank you so much for the love and the light. And again, I don't think this was a short reading, but thank you for spending your time with me. I trust how this message came through. Thank you, Spirit. And thank you again. Spreading love, spreading light, and catch you next time on the Daily Spread. Yeah, man. Let's spread that light. Peace, gang.